Emergency Essentials is having our largest monthly sale ever. Over 170 items will be on sale, and that doesn't even include the doorbusters. Savings up to 66% off. Just listen to some of these prices. Delicious strawberry 7-ounce can, only $15.99. A 4-person 72-hour food supply, only $54.99. 9-meal MRE combo, $34.99. Don't forget your veggies. Freeze-dried spinach, only $4.99. Strawberry yogurt bites, only $8.99. My favorite, Mountain House Chili Mac, $5.99. I can hardly wait for an emergency. Yum! There has never been a better time to stock up on delicious, long-lasting food and emergency supplies. This prep understand is only for a few more days and only while supplies last. Visit BePrepared.com or on locations in Bountiful, South Jordan, Murray, and Orem. Better value, more choices, trustworthy advice, and expert information. That is the Emergency Essentials difference.
It was a wild weekend of storms around Utah, and heavy rain fell once again on Monday. Tonight, looking for partly cloudy skies. They'll keep the partly cloudy conditions to start the day Tuesday. Thicker clouds, gusty winds, and another cold front with scattered thunderstorms Tuesday afternoon. They'll keep things cool through Wednesday, highs only in the 50s Wednesday afternoon, but warmer weather and tons of sunshine by the end of the week and the weekend, back to the mid-70s on Saturday and Sunday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank, a must-read for financial professionals.
In the October issue, Bloomberg Markets presents our annual ranking of the 50 most influential, including Jeffrey Ubben, CEO of Value Act Capital Management. Plus, is the shale boom a victim of its own hype? It's all in this month's issue of Bloomberg Markets. Now available at Barnes & Noble or select newsstands. To subscribe, visit BloombergMarkets.com.
And it's 5:30 on Wall Street. Good morning. This is Bloomberg, the first word on Bloomberg 1130 in New York, Bloomberg 1200 in Boston, Bloomberg 960 and 103.7 FM HD2 in San Francisco, and Sirius XM Channel 119. I'm Karen Moscow.
And I'm Bob Moon. The first word brought to you by Qatar Airways. Fly daily from New York to Doha and onwards to over 140 global destinations. Book now at QatarAirways.com.
And we're just about 4 hours away from the opening of U.S. trading. Let's get you up to date on the news you need to know at this hour. U.S. stock index futures and stocks in Europe are rising as we wrap up the last day of the quarter. Asian equities are heading for its biggest monthly drop in 16 months amid tensions in Hong Kong and as its Chinese manufacturing gauge missed estimates.
The UK economy grew faster than estimated in the second quarter, extending a recovery from a recession that's been more robust than previously thought. Gross domestic product rose 0.9%, the fastest in almost a year, and above the 0.8% previously published.
UK house prices fell for the first time in almost a year and a half in September, adding to evidence the property market is softening.
German unemployment unexpectedly rose for a second month as tension with Russia and a faltering euro area recovery worsened the outlook for Europe's largest economy.
Here in the U.S., economists are forecasting that the S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index increased 7.4% in July from a year earlier. On a month-over-month basis, they see no change. Bloomberg's Vinny Del Giudice has that story from the First Word Desk.
The year-over-year data is considered a better indicator of trends in the property market. Price gains are slowing as more houses come up for sale and investors who got in at the bottom retreat. There's a silver lining to this. Combined with the improving job market, smaller price gains could put home ownership within reach of more people. At the Bloomberg First Word Desk, I'm Vinny Del Giudice, Bloomberg Radio.
Royal Bank of Scotland shares are up 4%. Britain's largest state-owned lender says it expects full-year impairments to be lower than the previously estimated as economies in the UK and Ireland continue to gather strength.
Now let's get you up to date on how stocks are faring. We check the markets every 15 minutes throughout the trading day on Bloomberg, and futures are moving higher this morning. S&P futures are up 7 points. Dow futures up 54. NASDAQ futures up 17.5. DAX in Germany is up 0.4%. The CAC in Paris up 0.9%. SP 100 little changed. Hang Seng in Hong Kong fell 1.3%. 10-year Treasury down 10/32, the yield 2.51%, the yield on the 2-year 0.58%. NYMEX crude oil up 0.2% or 15 cents to $94.72 a barrel. NYMEX gold down 0.7% or $8.20 to $12.1060 an ounce. The euro $1.2608 and the yen 109.66. This is the Bloomberg.
And it's 5:33 on Wall Street, 2:33 in the Bay Area. President Obama welcomes India's new leader to the White House. And we welcome Irv Chapman now with that story and more on what's happening around the world. Irv.
Bob, President Obama and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meetings in Washington give the two leaders the chance to reinvigorate an economic relationship that both see as crucial to growth and security. The 2 days of talks began with a private dinner for Modi at the White House last night. Modi's agenda in Washington also includes a visit to the Capitol to talk to members of Congress and leaders of business leaders. President Obama's White House visitor tomorrow will be Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who will urge the president as he did at the United Nations to discuss Iran.
At the time of his treason, Iran, the world's most dangerous regime, in the world's most dangerous region, would obtain the world's most dangerous weapons. Allowing that to happen would pose the gravest threat to us all.
Air traffic in Chicago is starting to return to normal as controllers shift people and equipment to handle work once done at a sabotage radar center. Controllers assigned to the Chicago facility were sent to other centers to help restore flight capacity at O'Hare and Midway. Federal Aviation Administrator Michael Wetter said,
I'm very concerned that one person would be able to have such a significant impact. I've asked for a 30-day review of all of our security protocols at all of our air traffic facilities to ensure that we can prevent these sorts of instances.
Spain's constitutional court temporarily blocked Catalan government plans to hold a vote on independence, raising the stakes in the central government standoff with the regional administration in Barcelona. Catalan President Artur Mas signed a decree calling for a November 9th ballot. It's a non-binding consultation on independence for the region of 7.5 million people in northeastern Spain. Spanish Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy denounced the vote as unconstitutional. Mayor Bill de Blasio plans to sign an executive order today expanding New York City's living wage law, raising hourly pay by 9.5% to $13.13 for workers who don't receive benefits. The New York Times reported it would affect employees of commercial tenants on projects that receive more than $1 million in city subsidies. For more on these stories 24 hours a day, visit Bloomberg.com or download the Bloomberg Radio Plus mobile app. I'm Irv Chapman, Bloomberg Radio, Bob.
Thanks very much, Irv. And that brings us to 5:35 on Wall Street, 2:35 in the Bay Area. That's time for your Bloomberg NBC Sports Update with Scott Seidenberg. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Bob. Monday Night Football last night. It was the Chiefs' Jamal Charles returning from an injury to have a big impact.
Mr. Days with the shotgun cut. Boxes on, throws it back. Caught by Charles. Can't grab on high. Runs across the goal line. Jamal Charles with his first touchdown tonight. And the Chiefs are running away from the New England Patriots. Midway through the third. 23-0.
And the final score will be 41-14. The Chiefs blowing out the Patriots. Tom Brady turned the ball over 3 times. The Oakland Raiders off to an 0-4 start have fired head coach Dennis Allen, former Jets assistant Tony Sparano, a likely choice to be named interim coach, although 2 other coaches on the staff, offensive coordinator Greg Olson, senior offensive assistant Al Saunders, are in the running as well. Kyle Orton named the new starting quarterback for the Bills. Giants rookie wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. practiced on a limited basis yesterday. He could see his first action of the season this Sunday against the Falcons. Meanwhile, the Jets' struggling offense held a players-only meeting on Monday to try to right the ship. The Major League Baseball postseason gets underway tonight. The A's will face the Royals in the American League wild card game in Kansas City. The winner to face the Angels in the divisional round. The National League wild card game will be tomorrow. The Giants visiting the Pirates, with the winner taking on the Nationals. Joe Girardi spoke to the media yesterday, and the outlook of 2015 was the topic on hand.
With some of the additions that we made, Prado, who gives you a lot of flexibility in what you can do, the emergence of some of these young players, I don't think it's as big as people think.
The Yankees also have Alex Rodriguez returning from his one-season ban. Joe Girardi saying A-Rod, not a lock to be the starter at third base. I'm Scott Seidenberg with your Bloomberg NBC Sports Update. Bob?
Appreciate it, Scott. Ford Motor Company says it will earn a pre-tax profit of $6 billion this year, missing its goal of $7 billion to $8 billion. With more on that story, here's Bloomberg's Charlie Keller.
Results in South America and Europe are looking worse than when the year began. Ford told investors it will lose $1 billion.